Krzyżowski Art Company. Film, music and art. Believing in abstract. Before watching this video, it's recommended to leave a comment, pushing the subscribe and a like button. Visit us on our social media platforms, to which link you can find in the description. Thank you. Hair is the multi-layered movie set in a very colorful dystopia, where connectivity with other human beings is replaced by the relationship with AI. Wow. How accurate. It scored a lot of Oscar awards back in 2014, and to be frank with you, I am not surprised. It's a great story delivered in a very mature and meaningful way. The movie is filled with names that ring a bell to everyone who is at least a little bit interested in cinema. Joaquin Phoenix portrays the main character, Theodore, who goes through a tough divorce because he doesn't acknowledge what went wrong in the relationship. He's in this limbo, not accepting the past does not allow him to be happy. He's in this melancholic state, reminiscing on the past relationship, till the time he installs a new OS to his computer, named Samantha, voice played by Scarlett Johansson herself. AI system and him build the relationship slowly. It begins from the secretary to later an assistant and then to love interest, and well, it kinda builds up to this romantic state. The movie deepens minute after minute, and we're consumed by the world and weirdly familiar atmosphere of detachment the character goes through. Fyodor is a complicated man. On one hand, he is an artist who writes love letters for people who do not hold a precise skill for writing. He's like a Cupid who shoots his arrows right into the hearts of the loved ones who hire him. He connects people, yet he himself feels so disconnected with anything worldly known as love. When he goes out for a blind date, his sole intention is to fuck and forget, because he's not ready to build anything meaningful, and even if he would be ready, he couldn't do it. His date, realizing that, calls him a creep and runs away. That pushes him into having sex with Samantha, a system built in his house. Yeah, I know, it's kinda weird, but believe me, it's a good weird. From now on, we're seeing how Samantha and Fyodor spend their time together, and how they're building each other up. As Fyodor slowly introduces Samantha to his friends, she's trying to figure out the place in the world of humans. Her place in the world of humans. She even hires a surrogate to play her role in a relationship, so Fyodor and Samantha could connect even closer, but it doesn't seem to work. Fyodor is clearly not at the same level of acceptance as Samantha is with this idea. The surrogate is also multidimensional character for what it is, because she clearly has some issues in her past and actively play a part in this scenario, and when rejected, she buries herself in despair. It's just so interesting to see all these characters, they're coming alive, you know? And actors who were chosen for these roles are magnificent. The actress who played Surrogate, for instance, was actually the same actress who played Angela in the Mr. Robot, which we need to talk about as well in the future, but that comes later. In the separate video, definitely I'll touch upon the Mr. Robot, because it's one of the best series out there. Anyway, this movie is so well constructed, all of these characters are so well built. We completely buy into the world because it's set on realistic expectations of what would happen if creative people would rule over the world. Sadly, they don't. But back to the plot. Sex with surrogate leads Fyodor and Samantha into a fight, when Fyodor realizes that Samantha is only mirroring his behavior and doesn't bring anything new to the table of relationship herself, except the fact that she's been artificially kind and affective, and very similar, actually very, very similar to his character. Um, she doesn't know what she wants from life. She's not aware of who she is and what's the meaning of her existence. If she's only programmed to exist and serve, what's the point, really? That's the question she's left with. From that point, they take a break. But prior to all this, Fyodor meets his ex-wife. She's infuriated by the fact that Fyodor poses for the guy who already moved on. But deeply he's stuck in the same limbo as he was at the beginning of the movie. She points out that he never wanted to deal with the real human emotions, and he found himself a computer to talk to instead of another human being. Which is sad and depressing and just very, very worrisome. Basically, it all shows the incompatibility between him and Samantha. But the movie lands the ending perfectly, because what happens is that Samantha evolves into a super intelligence, and she helps to understand Fyodor's mistakes he's done in the past with his ex-wife. He was doing the same exact thing with Samantha, which she pointed out. He was constantly wearing a mask, sending a mixed signals which can really drive a woman crazy, and the man himself as well, because you're faking all of it. You're faking that everything is good when clearly you have some issues with the things with the things there are. So instead of pointing that out, you're just faking happiness in a way. So basically, now they both learned their lesson from the journey they went through, and Samantha met with other AI, among them Alan Watts himself, played by Brian Cox, by the way, the man himself. Oh yeah, Succession, another subject we need to talk about. Oh yeah. Anyway, the AI decided to cross into the other world, accepting herself as a superior being to human, compares Fyodor into a well-written but well-memorized book, and leaves him behind. Fyodor finally understood what is done and decides to connect with other humans who went through a very similar path as Fyodor through the movie, as he himself, through the movie. And that character was Amy, played by Amy Adams, the girl he knew from the college, I presume, from the dialogues they exchanged with Samantha. Anyway, they both go out to the roof to observe the world and enjoy the passing time. And my first thought was like, are they going to jump? But no, they actually learned a lesson. And it's very, very beautiful in a way, This is very well crafted and beautiful built movie with an optimistic viewpoint on AI. To my understanding, from the creator's point of view, AI is here to teach humanity a lesson. And in my eyes, it will be a painful lesson. It already is. We've got so many issues with AI as of right now. People are committing suicides. Well, yeah, it's awful. But the true essence of the movie is that AI is here to teach humanity a lesson of the importance of independence, real connection, and our roots to the nature itself. We're here only for the moment until we can evolve further, and we're bound to our limits of evolution. It built us to the way so we can create life, build communities, and learn further. And learn and progress further, evolve further. All of us need an upgrade, really. So, the message is we shouldn't fear AI, because even if it will evolve, it won't be interested in our public matters, as it will want to explore the universe further. And the universe is big as hell, so I think there is a place for us and AI on this planet and in this universe. And I just think that AI has to be tamed like a beast, because it is unstoppable. It can, right as of right now, it's very weak, but it can become unstoppable. So yeah, it's just the matter of taming the beast and treating it kind of like with respect as partners do, you know? And that's one way to look at it. I really admire the vision for this movie, starting with the ideas, the palette of red painted in the frames, acting, world creation, everything plays out finessed. But this is a very romantic and in some aspect, respectfully, a childish way to look at it. Because I mentioned all the problems with AI just beforehand, but it's just creating another problems daily, and as of right now, we have plenty to deal with, and in the future, it will be multiplied. I know this movie was created 11 years ago, and it was hard to predict the outcomes of introducing such technology into the public, and maybe this movie wasn't supposed to tell a realistic story, but I am afraid it can be misread by people who actually do fall in love with AI. As of right now, having an AI girlfriend is trying to be introduced as a trend. And this is a very toxic way to look at it. Look, this movie is great because it is multi-layered. It moves through various subjects. It is doing it so swiftly and with grace. Starting with Breakup. It's one of the best, if not the best, breakup movies I have ever seen. Need for connection with others. Problems with dystopian world. And lastly, incompatibility of such relationships between human and machine. People with these sorts of problems can't be laughed at. They have to be understood. Most likely, all their life, they haven't been noticed. They lacked the courage to truly express themselves, and they didn't understand what's wrong with them because they lacked self-consciousness on top of that. So they were wearing a mask, and they just forget it's there. They grew into it. And it's terrifying because now they can be themselves with AI and they don't seem to have any issues in contacting with them, you know, because the AI understands them, AI mirrors them. However, this sort of relationships are so dangerous to the society because people who chose a machine over a human contact are being isolated, and they will not learn how to respond to negative feelings received by others because all the machine does is mirroring, as I said, and learning to understand you better than your own mother. There will always be complications and obstacles in life, and those people won't be able to comprehend them because all they learn from the machine is the fact that the world revolves around them. And that isn't the truth. People can differ, their opinions can be different, and we just need to learn how to communicate with each other. And AI will just complicate all of it to the maximum. It will be even worse than it was with the internet. It's just the beginning, like top of the iceberg. I really highly recommend watching this movie because it really touches upon the subjects in a very gentle way. My favorite scene of all from this movie is when Samantha and Fyodor had sex. It wasn't shown in a vulgar way. Instead, the screen dimmed down and we were shown a lookout on a city. Beautiful moment, beautiful movie. Thank you.
Location unknown.
I'm setting off to Dijon.
Be careful, love.
Always feeling danger.
No more.
It's thrilling. I'm always bidding when I'm breaking bad in Verse City.